أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Assalamu alaikum, brothers. Welcome to today's lesson. We thank Allah for making it possible for us to sit for our lesson after Salatul Fajr. We thank Allah for all the blessings that Allah has blessed us with, and we thank Allah for making it possible for us to learn Tajweed, look at the meaning of surahs and look at the rulings of Tajweed, whereby we can enhance our reading of the Quran. So today's topic, brothers, is called the pause symbol. Okay, so this is the symbol here, which is called the pause symbol. Okay, so after doing the stop symbol and stop signs, now we're going to look at a symbol which is called in the book of Tajweed as pause. So inshallah we're going to look at it in detail today, and we're going to see what should we do when that symbol comes. So when we are reading the Quran, if that symbol comes up, what should we do? Alright, so this is how the symbol looks. Alright, and this is one of the famous verse we're going to discuss inshallah in a bit. Okay, and it's called a small pause. Now, so today's topic, brother, pause rule in Quranic recitation. Display the symbol. So it is this symbol here. It's a scene. Okay, scene, but it's a very small scene. Okay, and last time we had this discussion whereby students asked how do I identify the scene. Okay, because scene is a letter, and then this scene is a pause symbol. How do I identify? So this scene here is a very small scene. It will come on top of a letter. If a symbol comes on the top of a letter, then we know that this is not a letter. This is something to do with stopping or pause symbol. So this will come on the top of a letter. Introduction to pause rule, which requires a brief pause in recitation for 2 counts without taking a breath. Alright, so we'll have a look in this. This is what we're going to be studying today, inshallah. And what's our learning objective for today? Understand the significance of this symbol in the Quranic recitation, and then learn the correct way on how to hold your breath. So this symbol requires us that we hold the breath. Okay, and also recognize instances in the Quran. Means that look, there are few places in the Quran, there's not many, but few places in the Quran. Alright, so we should be able to know 2 of them. One is in Juz Amma, one is in Juz 29, alright, and one in Surah Yasin, and then 2 other and a few other places. So we should be able to, it's not that many, few of them we should be able to remember where they are. So now, brothers, this is the pause rule. Okay, so pause marks the symbol specific point where reciter should pause for 2 counts. Now, to start with, does anybody understand, or does anybody have an understanding in terms of the difference of stopping and pausing? Does anybody find a difference, or do you have any difference in understanding, or do you think it's the same thing? There's a difference. There is a difference, yeah. I know back in the days, when there was a cassette player. Anyone seen cassette player? Yeah. So there was a button which used to say stop, right? And there was a button which used to say pause. Yeah. There was a difference between the two. There was, right? There was. So if you press the stop button, it will completely stop, right? But if you press the pause, yeah, what happens? You can go back, and if you press pause again, it will start. Okay. So the basic understanding is that pause is shorter than a stop. Okay. So the duration, all right, in terms of stop and pause, is that pause is shorter. Correct? Agreed, brothers? So in terms of stop symbol, when you come to a stop, we know so many of the stop symbols that we have studied so far. When it comes, you completely let your breath go. For example, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. What did I do at the end? I let the breath go. Yeah, take a fresh breath, start again. All right. But in this case of this symbol here, a pause symbol, all right, we do not let the breath go, but we still stop. Okay. What do? We hold on to the breath. Okay, we hold on to the breath. So this pause symbol marks a specific point where reciter should pause for 2 counts. And how can we pause for 2 counts? Unlike a stop, this pause requires holding your breath instead of ending the recitation. So this point is very important, brother. Holding your breath instead of ending the recitation. If you end the recitation, that means you have let the breath go. Okay, all right. Now, something important, this is only applicable if you see this symbol. All right, you can't like, for example, anywhere you see, oh, let me just do it. No, the only time we are allowed to do this is when we see the symbol. Okay, and how long should you hold your breath on? All right, so 2 counts of haraka, okay, equal to the time it takes to say vowel sounds such as a, e, u, a natural mud. Okay, so ba alif fatha, ba, yeah. So let's have a look. So how many counts is that one? If you say odd numbers is 1 or even number is 2. Okay, so ba or b or boo. Okay, can anyone remind me what type of mud is this one? Natural mud. Good, mashallah. Natural mud. Good. Remember, our inshallah, when we get a chapter of mud in detail, we'll learn the technical Arabic technical terms, right? Mud asli. Okay, so this is natural sound. If you stretch a letter with alif, waw, and ya, okay. And remember, as we said, if you're stretching with alif, the letter before has to be a fatha. If you're stretching with ya, the letter before has to be a kasra. If you're stretching with waw, the letter before has to be a dhamma. So it's ba, bi, bu. All right. So now, when it comes to stretching, using this particular pause symbol, we will hold it for 2 counts. All right. So now let's have a look at the example, brothers. All the explanation that we've said. So now this is Surah Qiyamah. Okay, Qiyamah. Has everyone read Surah Qiyamah? Very important surah, brothers. Very important surah. All the surahs in the Quran is important, but this surah, has specific. Talk about the Day of Judgment, but something very specific, something very beautiful. All right. I mean, we can't discuss Surah Qiyamah now, but I would encourage everyone to please ever read the surah with the meaning. Okay. So, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وقيل من راق. You see? وقيل من راق. Okay. So what I did, when I got to here, وَقِيلَ مَنْ رَاقَ. Got it? Over here, when I got to the letter noon here, then what happened? On the top of this, I can see what? My symbol here. Alright? Is this letter seen? Is this letter seen? No, is it a sin or is it a sin or a symbol? Symbol. Okay? And how do I know it's a symbol? Because it is on top of a letter. If it was here, for example, then we know that, just for example, for understanding purpose, if it was there, for example, or if it was anywhere else, then it is a letter. But now this is not a letter because it is on top of a letter. Which a letter is noon, and our stop symbol has come on top of noon. Okay, so that means that we have to do pause in which letter? Over here, wherever the letter is. So وَقِيلَ مَنْ رَاقَ. Yeah, I did not leave my voice just for وَقِيلَ مَنْ رَاقَ. Is this the same as holding on to the breath? وَقِيلَ مَنْ رَاقَ. Correct? Got it, brothers? Yeah. So you have to hold on to your breath. وَقِيلَ مَنْ رَاقٍ. Okay? It is not the same. One might say, oh, it's the same thing as stopping, right? It's not the same thing as stopping. Okay? So we got Bismillah. If I'm stopping, look at the difference. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Is it longer? It is longer, right? You completely let your breath go. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Complete breath completely goes. But in this case, you hold on to the breath. Okay? Has anyone come across this verse before? It's the first time they're looking at it. Yeah, I'm sure you've seen it. All right? And there's another verse in Surah Mutaffifin, which is not listed here, but أعوذ بالله من الشيطان إذا تتلى عليه آياتنا قال أساطير الأولين كلا بل ران على قلوبهم ما كانوا يكسبون كلا بل ران على قلوبهم. So after كلا بل, you hold on to the. Let's go through the verse, brothers. We got time, inshallah. We can have a quick look. It's not listed, but I just remembered, so we're going to quickly have a look at it. Okay, so we got verse number 14 in Surah Mutaffifin. Okay, so can we see our symbol here, our pause symbol anywhere? Yeah, on top of Lam. Okay, so we see that it's on top of Lam, so it is a symbol rather than a letter. Look at this. This is a scene where it's in a letter. Okay, so there is a difference between the two. So how are we going to read this? كلا بل ران على قلوبهم ما كانوا يكسبون. So my 2-second holding was over here. Okay, كلا بل ران على قلوبهم ما كانوا يكسبون. Yeah, so this is a very important surah, brothers. If you look at the meaning, no, rather stain has covered their hearts, all right, of that which they were earning. It's a very important surah, brothers, in terms of looking at the meaning. It's very important, all right? Yes.
I normally read it as himim.
Oh, you want to go back to the other verse? Yes, yes. Which one? Oh, قلوبهم. Okay, قلوبهم. Okay, so you're saying قلوبهم ما?
Yeah, I normally, a lot of the time myself, I read it as قلوبهم ما.
Okay, so in this case, what happens? There's two of the same letters, all right? Two of the same letters, all right? And so this is a rule of mim sakin, all right? Qulubihim, yeah? So when of the two letters come, right, you pronounce it one letter, all right? You pronounce it one letter, all right? Is so because both of these letters, right, come from the same makhraj. Okay, remember we discussed last time. So when two of the letters come from the same place, there is a certain rule. I can't remember what the name of the rule is, but you pronounce it as one. Okay, so qulubihim ma. Okay, qulubihim ma. You pronounce the meme as one time. All right. So But this is, if you look at this rule again, just to, from what you said, like, Kalla innahum arrabbihim. Can you see that one? Noon sakin, arrabbihim, not arrarabbihim. Okay? Arrabbihim. Okay? By the way, what rule is this one? Does anyone know? I know this is not our topic, but just for understanding, this is idgham, bighayri gunna. Okay? So we've got noon sakin followed by ra. Ra is the letter of, okay? La is a letter of idgham. Yeah? Ya ra, ya maloon. Okay? So in this case, we have assimilation of letter, right? Whereas it is where we're not going to do gunna. Okay? But in this case, it is noon sakin, whereas in this case, it is mim sakin. Okay? So there is a difference between the two. Alright? So, but we've got two of the same letters, so we're going to read it. Qulubihim. Okay? Himma. By the way, did we discuss the rule of shadda? Which his brothers picked up. Very interesting. Do we know what shadda is? Replacement of double letters. Double letters. Remember we discussed this one. In English, we can write. Is it okay? B? We can write, not a problem. Alright? Can we write? Is it okay? Yes. Yeah? Okay? But in Arabic, can I write like this? But if you read it, Rabba, it's okay, sounds okay. Rabba, right? But we don't write it like this, we replace it with a symbol. Okay? Rabba, you see? Okay? Rabba. So, in kids to understand, Ra and Ba, they become friends. Alright? And they say Ra, Rabb. Okay? And then Ba, what does he do? He said, I don't want to be friends with you anymore. I'm going to take your symbol. I'm going to be my own symbol. Ba Fatha, Rabba. You see? Rabba. Okay? So, wherever you see double letters in Arabic, is being replaced by this symbol, shadda. Okay? But there's so many different symbols that we need to understand their ruling. Inshallah, we will discuss it when we come with it. Inshallah. Okay? Alright, so let's look at another verse here. Alright? This is a verse from Surah Yasin. Alright? By the way, the meaning of this verse, and it will be said, who can cure him and save him from death? Alright? So death is in this verse, we're not going to detail, but one of the things he's referring to here is death. Alright? And it will say to who can cure him and save him from death. So death is one thing, brothers, we know that there is no reversal for it. Alright? It's only in Allah's hand. Alright? If somebody dies, there is no way to bring them back to life except Allah does. So this is in context of this verse. It is said, it will say, who can cure him? Means who can bring him alive after he has died. Alright? Okay. Let's look at another example, brothers. So this is Surah Yasin. قالوا يا ويلنا من بعثنا من مرقدنا هذا ما وعد الرحمن وصدق المرسلون. Okay? قالوا يا ويلنا من بعثنا من مرقدنا هذا ما وعد الرحمن وصدق المرسلون. So where is our symbol, brothers? On top of the noon. Okay? So in this case, alright, specifically, we're going to go for this symbol. I know there's another symbol here, right? There's another symbol here, okay? But we're going to give preference to this one. Okay? Alright? Alright? So we're going to read قالوا يا ويلنا من بعثنا من مرقدنا هذا ما وعد الرحمن وصدق المرسلون. Okay, sometimes it can be slightly hard, but it will come through practice, inshallah. Okay, anybody wants to have a go on this verse? Sure? No? Go for it. Yeah, no need to say Bismillah. It's not the beginning of the surah. Okay, good, mashallah. By the way, this symbol here, this one is what's the symbol again? Better to stop. Yeah, better to stop. All right. So in this case, it is saying it's better to stop, but when you are stopping, you apply this rule. Okay, correct, brothers? It's better to stop. All right, but you apply this rule. So مرقدنا هذا ما وعد الرحمن وصدق المرسلون. Okay, so this is very important, brothers. This is make sure to
In this case, you hold the breath or you.
No, so in this case, you have to hold the breath. You have to apply this rule. This rule.
So you ignore the other rule.
Yeah. Okay. So this what you call, these ones are specifically in certain places in the Quran. All right. So this rule will apply as in special case. Okay.
This one will override the other one.
Yes.
In this case.
Yeah. In this case. Yeah. In this case. Yeah. This one will get preference. Okay. So what's the meaning of this verse? They will say, woe to us who has raised us from our place of sleep. It will be said to them, this is what the most gracious had promised and the messenger spoke truth. Okay, so this is referring to the day of judgment, right? People will be raised from their grave. Yeah, they will be raised from their grave. People will get up from the graves. Where God and peace, people will get up, and we know everyone's going to run towards one place. All right. And some will say, قالوا يا ويلنا, woe to us. من بعثنا من مرقدنا هذا ما وعد الرحمن وصدق المرسلون. Who raised us from our sleep? So remember, so the believers, they're going to enjoy, have a good sleep. They will have good sleep. Alhamdulillah, Allah gives us good sleep, keep us peaceful in our graves. And brothers, this is something we need to focus on a daily basis. That is our destination. That is our destination. Whether we like it or we don't like it, we are all going there. All right? And we have to prepare for that. You have to prepare for that, in terms of doing good. So the believe, what you call, but in this case, woe to us. So there were some who did not believe in prophets and messengers, peace be upon them, when they came with the message of truth, right? There are some who did not believe. And when they will be raised on their day of resurrection, it will be said to them that, this waking up, this resurrection, what the prophets and messengers were warning you about. All right? This is what the most gracious Allah had promised. All right? And the messenger spoke truth. So when prophets and messengers, peace be upon them, from time to time, when they reminded people, right? So Prophet ﷺ was Bashira wa Nadhira. Yeah, what does that mean? Bashira, we need to know this, brothers. We need to know this very important. Bashira, giver of glad tidings. Yeah? Prophet ﷺ came with the glad tidings. If you believe in Allah and follow the message, okay, then it's good news for you. Paradise. Yeah? At the same time, Prophet ﷺ, Nadhira, in the sense that he's a warner. Okay, if you don't listen to the message, then there's warning for you. Okay? So there are some who rejected the message of prophets and messengers, all right, and died in that state, all right. And on the day of the resurrection, they will be resurrected. On the day of Qiyamah, they're going to be resurrected, brought back to life, all right. And in this case, this is what the most gracious has promised. This was the message that was given to you, which you denied. And the messenger, whoever messengers, referring to messengers that came to them at that specific time, they spoke the truth. But you call the messenger as, the people at that time called the messenger as liar, right? Yeah. And we know in the case of Prophet ﷺ, they called him madman. Yeah, they call him soothsayer. Yeah, they call him majnoon. Yeah. So all these things, labels that he gave to the prophets and messengers, but they actually spoke the truth. This day is going to be a very, very stressful and difficult day, brothers. We ask Allah that on the day of judgment, Allah gives us quick reckoning. Yeah. So day of judgment, yes, we know it's a long day, it's equal to 1,000 years. But there is also a verse in the Quran, brothers. Yeah. Surah Inshiqaq, Allah said, فَأَمَّا مَنْ أُوتِيَ كِتَابَهُ بِيَمِينِهِ فَسَوْفَ يُحَاسَبُ حِسَابًا يَسِيرًا. فَأَمَّا مَنْ أُوتِيَ كِتَابَهُ بِيَمِينِهِ. And the one who's given his records in the right hand, فَسَوْفَ يُحَاسَبُ حِسَابًا يَسِيرًا. For them will be a short reckoning. Yeah, easy and short reckoning. وَيَنْقَلِبُ إِلَىٰ أَهْلِهِ masrura, and he will return to his family in happiness. Alright? So I know, judgment is difficult, this and that, but these verses also say that, if you're a good believer, you've done good things, you worship Allah, done your duty, responsibility, by Allah's mercy, your hisab can be quick. So that's why, brothers, very important. At the part of our du'as, we should say, Allahumma hasibni hisaban yasira. Make sure that we make this a part of our dua so that we can, inshallah, on the day of judgment, be given, inshallah, quick entry to paradise. Okay? So some books I also found it, brothers, saying that it's called this silent symbol. When encountering this small scene, let a symbol take a brief pause without breaking your breath, then continue. Okay? And they have given this meaning. Okay? And also, brothers, I don't know if anybody noticed in the beginning, what does it say? Saktah. Some books have also referred to it with that one, that example. Okay? So, for us, brothers, rather than name what is important, is that when you see something, you should know what the application that comes with. Okay? Alright. So, brothers, to conclude, pause at the symbol by holding 2 counts. We have looked at that one. Alright. So, some of the important things that we can take away from this lesson is, this symbol indicates a pause where we should hold our breath for 2 counts. Alright. We are holding breath. We are not stopping. Yeah. We are holding breath. We are not stopping. And the pause is shorter than a stop. Okay. The rule helps maintain flow and reverence in the recitation, the beat of based on the meaning of the verse. Alright? Alright? Yeah, it beautifies the reading of the Quran. Alright? So for example, if we were to stop, it wouldn't have the same effect as doing pause. Alright? A lot of the time, of course, the verses that I showed you are very strong verses. Alright? So what befits the beauty of the Quran is for one to do pause. Alright? We're trying to know the Arabic language. We are not the great, in terms of that. We're all learners, right? But in terms of what Allah is trying to say and the beauty of the language, it befits or makes it more beautiful to have a pause rather than a full stop. Okay? So it appears in, remember this, brothers, 5 occasions in the Quran totally. How many times? 5. So we have already discussed how many? 1, 2, 3 we discussed, right? Yeah, so 1 surah Mutaffifin, 1 surah Qiyamah, and 1 surah Yasin. And there are 2 more places. Alright? Inshallah, maybe for homework somebody can find the other 2. Yeah? Find the other 2, inshallah. Okay, correctly, okay, so if you practice this, alright, these 5 verses, jot down these 5 verses and then try to practice them, inshallah. Maybe we can do that for the next lesson. All of us will practice it, okay? Practice and pose correctly enhances the recitation quality and reflects respect for words. That means, what that means, it improves your recitation And respect for words, it means that, when we are reciting what was one of the rules of Tajweed we learned, brothers? Giving every letter its right. We need to know this definition. What is Tajweed? Yeah, that Tajweed means to pronounce every letter, yeah, as it be pronounced by giving its right. Okay? In Arabic, haqqul harfi. Haqqul harfi. Haqq of the letter. So which means that we pronounce every letter as it should be pronounced. So for example, qaf. Yeah? Qaf coming from the right place. Kaf coming from the right place. Jim coming from the right place. Dal coming from the right place. And when you are reading the Quran, you're not skipping the voice or the sound of any letters. All right. So what he's saying is respect for the letters is means by doing the pause symbol, you are doing the right thing in terms of the tajweed, the rules of the Quran, and you are reading correctly, inshallah. So brothers, very important, practice, I would say practice this one from time to time, inshallah, and you will get the essence, or you will get the inshallah, we could try to get good at it, inshallah. So anyone, brothers, anyway, anyone got any question? Any question at all? So there's one thing, brothers, not to worry, okay, is that two things. You can see that symbol, all right? You can see that symbol. If you see this symbol, you know that you need to do pause. Simple as that one, okay? And there are only 5 cases in the Quran, yeah, where we have this symbol. So we can memorize it, can't we? Yeah, we can, inshallah, memorize these verses. We should encourage ourselves to memorize these verses, inshallah. So with this, inshallah, brothers, we're going to finish our lesson here today, and inshallah, we're going to do lots of practice. We ask Allah to accept the lesson from us, and inshallah, give us the ability to read in the perfect manner that is pleasing to Allah. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.